¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta?
¡Ni por eso!
¿O por 2 Scooby galletas?
Will Scooby-Doo accept to be bait, or was the mission doomed to fail from the beginning? Stay tuned to find out as we dissect this Scooby-Doo clip and learn essential conversational Spanish along the way. ¡Vamos!
Te lo digo, Scooby, viejo amigo. De todos, Fabulman es el más grandioso.
Y no te olvides de Dinamita, el perro maravilla.
Bien, chicos, cuando Scooby, que es la carnada, lleve al loco Minotauro de la casa principal a la trampa, ustedes tiren de las palancas mientras Shaggy y yo de las cuerdas. ¿Todos listos?
Todos excepto por el hecho de que tu carnada está leyendo cómics.
¿Qué? ¿Qué es eso?
Vamos, Scooby. Necesitamos que el Minotauro te persiga.
¿No quiero ser la carnada? De nuevo.
¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta?
¡Ni por eso!
¿O por 2 Scooby galletas?
Te lo digo, Scooby, viejo amigo. De todos, Fabulman es el más grandioso.
Te lo digo, Scooby, viejo amigo. De todos, Fabulman es el más grandioso. Te lo digo, Scooby, viejo amigo. De todos, Fabulman es el más grandioso. Te lo digo means I'm telling you. Te is a personal pronoun that shows us that Shaggy is referring to you, Scooby in this case. Digo comes from the verb decir, which means to say or to tell. Spanish speakers commonly use the expression te lo digo when they want to convince someone that they're right about something or what they're saying is true. For example, vamos a ganar. Te lo digo. Another way you can express something similar, except with a more commanding tone, is with the expression te estoy diciendo que. For example, te estoy diciendo que ya lo sé.
Te lo digo, Scooby, viejo amigo. De todos, Fabulman es el más grandioso.
Y no te olvides de Dinamita, el perro maravilla.
Y no te olvides de Dinamita, el perro maravilla. Y no te olvides de Dinamita, el perro maravilla. No te olvides de means don't forget about. Olvides comes from the verb olvidar, which means to forget. The verb olvidar is usually followed by de, meaning about. No te olvides de is an expression that aims to remind someone of something. This expression is often used in conversations when trying to win a debate or an argument. For example, y no te olvides de todas las ventajas que tiene también. No te olvides is also often used literally to make sure someone doesn't forget something. For example, no te olvides de dar de comer al perro.
Y no te olvides de Dinamita, el perro maravilla.
Bien, chicos, cuando Scooby, que es la carnada,
Bien, chicos, cuando Scooby, que es la carnada. Bien, chicos, cuando Scooby, que es la carnada. Carnada means bait. The term carnada comes from the word carne, meaning meat. The word carnada can be used when talking about literal bait, like for fishing. For example, asegúrate de usar carnada. And carnada can also be used to refer to bait, for trying to lure someone or something into a trap. Like for example, necesitamos que alguien sea la carnada para distraerle. Another Spanish word for bait is cebo, which comes from the nautical term and could also translate to chum.
Bien, chicos, cuando Scooby, que es la carnada, lleve al loco Minotauro de la casa principal a la trampa, ustedes tiren de las palancas mientras Shaggy y yo de las cuerdas.
Lleve al loco Minotauro de la casa principal a la trampa. Ustedes tiren de las palancas mientras Shaggy y yo de las cuerdas. Lleve al loco Minotauro de la casa principal a la trampa. Ustedes tiren de las palancas mientras Shaggy y yo de las cuerdas. Mientras means while. It can be used to refer to a period of time or the duration of an action. For example, yo tomo apuntes mientras la profesora habla. Mientras que, which also translates to while, is another expression used to compare two elements. For example, me gustan los perros, mientras que a ella le gustan los gatos. Another expression with mientras is mientras tanto, which means meanwhile or in the meantime, and is used to talk about things that are happening at the same time as something else. For example, voy a trabajar, pero puedes empezar a cocinar mientras tanto.
Lleve al loco Minotauro de la casa principal a la trampa. Ustedes tiren de las palancas mientras Shaggy y yo de las cuerdas. ¿Todos listos?
¿Todos listos? ¿Todos listos? Todos listos means everyone ready? Todos means everyone or everybody when referring to people. However, when referring to things, todos means all or every. Todos is the plural of todo, which also means all. Listos here means ready. It ends in os because it refers to all of them, and the masculine plural serves as a neutral version in Spanish. The word listos can mean different things depending on the context and the verb that precedes it. So let's look at some examples in order to understand this word better.
Bajaremos nuestras armas a la cuenta de 3.
Sí.
¿Listos?
Estoy listo.
1, 2, 3.
If we click on listo on these interactive subtitles, we'll see that in this context, the listo means ready, and it doesn't end with an S because it refers to just one person communicating that they're ready. In this other video, however,
No soy tan listo como para inventarme esto.
if we click on listo, we can see that it means bright, clever, or smart. So in this context, listo refers to intelligence instead of meaning ready. The best way to learn the many meanings of a word is by watching lots of examples. So let's watch another one.
Nunca serás más rápido que Storm, pero puedes ser más listo que él.
If you're wondering what this handy dandy tool is, it's FluentU, an app for learning Spanish with authentic videos including movie scenes, clips from TV shows, TED Talks, and music videos. FluentU has thousands of videos, all of which have subtitles written by language experts, so you always see the correct definitions for words and expressions in that specific context, plus video examples of native speakers using the vocab. FluentU also creates personalized quizzes and speaking questions to make sure you remember everything you learn. Try it now for free. Just sign up for a 2-week trial using the link in the description below. Plus, FluentU is currently having a sale, so it's a perfect time to check it out.
¿Todos listos?
Todos excepto por el hecho de que tu carnada está leyendo cómics.
Todos, excepto por el hecho de que tu carnada está leyendo cómics. Todos, excepto por el hecho de que tu carnada está leyendo cómics. El hecho de que means the fact that. Hecho here means fact, but it's also a form of the verb hacer, which means to do. When used as a verb, hecho means done. El hecho de que is typically used when giving an argument or counter-argument. For example, el hecho de que esté aquí no demuestra nada.
Todos excepto por el hecho de que tu carnada está leyendo cómics.
¿Qué? ¿Qué es eso?
¿Quién? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Quién? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso means what is that? ¿Qué means what? Es is a form of the verb ser, which means to be, and eso means that. ¿Qué es eso is very commonly used to ask what something is, whether you're asking about what a specific concept means or what a specific object is. For example, la carnada, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso can also be used to clear things up. For example, ¿qué es eso que has dicho antes?
¿Qué? ¿Qué es eso?
Vamos, Scooby, necesitamos que el Minotauro te persiga.
Vamos, Scooby, necesitamos que el Minotauro te persiga. Vamos, Scooby, necesitamos que el Minotauro te persiga. Te persiga means chase you. Persiga comes from the verb perseguir, which means to chase. Persiga is the subjunctive form of the verb perseguir. This mood is used amongst other things, to express possible future actions that have not yet happened. In this case, Scooby being chased by the monster. The verb perseguir is often used literally, meaning to chase after someone or something. For example, la policía persigue al ladrón. But perseguir is also used with a figurative meaning, in which case perseguir means to chase or to pursue metaphorically. For example, espero que persiga su sueño. Unfortunately for Scooby, the chasing they're referring to in this scene is very literal.
Vamos, Scooby, necesitamos que el minotauro te persiga.
No quiero ser la carnada de nuevo.
No quiero ser la carnada de nuevo. No quiero ser la carnada de nuevo. De nuevo literally means of new, but it's commonly translated as again or anew. We use de nuevo when we're stating that this is not the first time something has happened. For example, voy a intentarlo de nuevo. Another expression that means the same thing is otra vez, which literally means another time. For example, no voy a hacer la carnada otra vez. ¿Quieren repasar este vocabulario de nuevo? Do you want to review this vocabulary again? Check out our free PDF. It gives you easy access to all the vocabulary that we have learned today, so you can study it whenever. Get it by clicking on the link in the description below.
No quiero ser la carnada de nuevo.
¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta?
¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta? ¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta? Lo harías por means would you do it for? Lo means it. Haría is the conditional form of the verb hacer, which means to do. Por means for. Spanish speakers use the conditional mood to express a condition that needs to be met for something to happen. So it's very common to see it used when trying to persuade someone to do something. For example, ¿harías mis deberes por 10 euros? The conditional mood can also be used to simply ask someone a question about a hypothetical situation. For example, ¿qué harías si conocieses a un actor famoso?
¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta?
Ni por eso.
Ni por eso. Ni por eso. Ni por eso means not even for that. Ni means nor or not even. The expression ni por eso is used to show that you are very unwilling to do something, and not even a very good deal could bribe you to do it. Another example is, no lo haré, ni por eso, ni por todo el dinero del mundo.
Ni por eso.
¿O por dos Scooby galletas?
No.
¿O por dos Scooby galletas? ¿O por dos Scooby galletas? Scooby galletas here means Scooby snacks. While galletas usually translates to cookie or biscuit, in this case it refers to the name of a brand, which, as you can see on the screen, is called Scooby Snacks. Fun fact, in Spain, the word galleta has a hidden meaning. If you say the verb dar plus galleta, it means someone has smacked into or against something. For example, se ha dado una galleta contra la puerta. Click subscribe if you want to find out if Scooby agrees to being bait, and so you'll never miss out on any of our upcoming videos, like Learn Spanish with Enrique Iglesias.
¿O por dos Scooby galletas?
No. ¿Lo harías si Vilma te llama perro maravilla?
¿Lo harías si Vilma te llama perro maravilla? ¿Lo harías si Vilma te llama perro maravilla? Lo harías si means would you do it if. Harías is once again in the conditional form of the verb, meaning that Shaggy is asking for Scooby's conditions. Another example of the conditional would be, no te apetece, pero ¿lo harías si yo te ayudo? Si means if, further emphasizing the fact that they're offering to give him a prize in exchange for him performing a certain action for them. Before, they asked, ¿lo harías por? Because what they were offering was an object, a thing. Like, for example, ¿lo harías por 1000 euros? Now, however, they ask, Lo harías si, because the condition is not an object but an action. Like for example, ¿lo harías si te hago un favor a cambio?
¿Lo harías si Vilma te llama perro maravilla?
Sí. Así sí.
¿Ah?
Sí. Así sí. Sí. Así sí. Así literally means that way, while sí here means yes. Así sí is a commonly used expression that Spanish speakers use when they finally hear something that they agree with, or when they remark on the fact that that's how things should be done. Qué bien lo estás haciendo. Así sí. However, in this scene, así sí means for that I would, because Scooby is finishing the sentence lo haría por X, meaning would do it for X. There's no fixed English translation for así sí, but some options might be that's it, or exactly that, or for that I would, depending on the context.
Sí. Así sí.
¿Ah? Ah.
Vamos, Vilma, ¿quieres resolver este misterio o no?
Vamos, Vilma, ¿quieres resolver este misterio o no? Vamos, Vilma, ¿quieres resolver este misterio o no? Vamos is the imperative form of the verb ir, which means to go. The imperative in Spanish is used when issuing commands or telling people to do things. Vamos is a word you'll hear quite often in Spanish conversations. It can be used as a way to mobilize someone. For example, vamos, que llegamos tarde. Vamos can also be used as an exclamation of pure happiness, like when your team finally scores a goal. For example, vamos! And when it's not being used as an expression, vamos just means we're going. For example, mañana nos vamos de vacaciones.
Vamos, Vilma, ¿quieres resolver este misterio o no?
De acuerdo. Perro maravilla hace la carnada.
De acuerdo. Perro maravilla, sé la carnada. De acuerdo. Perro maravilla, sé la carnada. De acuerdo is a fixed expression that can mean alright, agreed, or even okay when used more colloquially. De acuerdo is used to show your agreement with something. De means of, while acuerdo literally means deal or agreement. If used as a question, de acuerdo serves to ask if people agree with you. For example, lo vamos a hacer. De acuerdo? If used as part of a longer sentence, like estoy de acuerdo con ella, it means I'm in agreement with her or I agree with her.
De acuerdo. Perro maravilla hace la carnada.
¿Qué dijiste? No pude escucharte.
¿Qué dijiste? No pude escucharte. ¿Qué dijiste? No pude escucharte. ¿Qué dijiste means what did you say? ¿Qué means what? Dijiste is a past tense of the verb decir, which means to say. ¿Qué dijiste is a question Spanish speakers will often ask when they haven't heard someone correctly or when they want someone to explain what they just said. For example, lo siento, no te he oído. ¿Qué dijiste? ¿Qué dijiste is an expression mostly used by Latin American Spanish speakers. However, in regions such as Spain, it's more common to use the phrase ¿qué has dicho? For example, no me lo creo. ¿Qué has dicho?
¿Qué dijiste? No pude escucharte.
¡Vamos, perro maravilla! ¡Haz tu trabajo!
Vamos, perro maravilla, haz tu trabajo. Vamos, perro maravilla, haz tu trabajo. Haz tu trabajo here means do your job. Haz is the imperative form of the verb hacer, which means to do. As mentioned before, the imperative mood is used for giving orders. Another example would be, haz lo que te digo. Trabajo means job or work. Haz tu trabajo is a way to command someone to do their job. If you want to soften the command in order to not sound rude, You just add por favor, meaning please, either at the beginning or at the end of the sentence.
Vamos, perro maravilla, haz tu trabajo.
Scooby-Doo, perro maravilla, 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 maravilla.
Scooby-Doo, perro maravilla. Scooby-Doo, perro maravilla. Maravilla here means wonder. Maravilla is a noun that can mean wonder, marvel, or even miracle. It's used to express that something is amazing or incredible and can apply to people. Esa chica es una maravilla. Or it can apply to situations. La fiesta fue una maravilla. If you want to say that something went really well, you would say ha ido de maravilla. And you can also say funciona de maravilla, meaning it works marvelously. If you're a comic book fan, you probably noticed that Dog Wonder is a reference to Boy Wonder, aka Robin from Batman and Robin. Now let's watch the whole clip without subtitles so you can see how much you've learned.
Te lo digo, Scooby, viejo amigo. De todos, Fabulman es el más grandioso.
Y no te olvides de Dinamita, el perro maravilla.
Bien, chicos, cuando Scooby, que es la carnada, lleve al loco Minotauro de la casa principal a la trampa, ustedes tiren de las palancas mientras Shaggy y yo de las cuerdas. ¿Todos listos?
Todos excepto por el hecho de que tu carnada está leyendo cómics.
¿Qué? ¿Qué es eso?
Vamos, Scooby, necesitamos que el minotauro te persiga.
¿No quiero ser la carnada? De nuevo.
¿Lo harías por una Scooby galleta?
Ni por eso.
¿O por 2 Scooby galletas?
No, lo haría si Vilma te llama perro maravilla.
Sí. Así sí.
¿Ah? Ah.
Vamos, Vilma, ¿quieres resolver este misterio o no?
De acuerdo. Perro maravilla hace la carnada.
¿Qué dijiste? No pude escucharte.
Vamos, perro maravilla, haz tu trabajo.
Scooby-Doo, perro maravilla, 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 maravilla. Scooby-Doo, perro maravilla, maravilla, maravilla.
Está bien, Scooby-Doo. Estás a salvo.
Next up, Ariel goes through some important changes in her life, so go watch that Little Mermaid video to enjoy more classic cartoons as you learn great conversational Spanish.